In the epistle, we have a mode of existence very different from what is out there. The bottom line is peaceful mode. Peace is linked with a certain stillness of soul. It's not noisy, it's not invasive, it's modest. In student days, one day, a group of us went for a walk on a Sunday afternoon, and we found ourselves on the other side of the cliff at Clarach, near Aberystwyth, and we walked into a church, an old church, and they had the virtues in the stained glass windows, and one saw modesty as an interiorized virgin, not looking out but into herself. There's here a whole trait: merciful, reserved, humble. Now, not rendering evil for evil, or abuse for abuse. There are no winners quite often in an argument, only a loss of peace. We must learn, my friends, to let things pass. If we cling on to every right that we have, every issue that we must justify, we'll never, ever find peace. We will be busybodies, holy busybodies, but we've lost what we're carrying in our deepest selves. We'll never know peace. But contrariwise, blessing, for unto this you were called. And then he quotes the psalm: he would enjoy life and seek good days. Let him seek after peace. Now the gospel picks it up. The Lord, here in the Sermon on the Mount, is going into the essence. It's not just a minimal observance of the Ten Commandments, but the deeper meaning. One can kill not just with weapons. Just in these last days, I've had 2 communications from travelling people. One, it was just actually the first part of his communication was as the lockdown was starting. Somebody wanted to come and see me. He was a young father of a family, I know, and I was advising against it with regard to movement at this time. Just this last week, it turned out that there was some issue, and he was clobbered to death. And about the same time, a message came from another travelling person that one of theirs, who was already married, but was only 19, had been also in some disagreement and was clobbered and not expected to survive. And I thought, it's rather sad that an issue can mean a life. Now let's look at life. How long are we here for? What do we want? Since I've seen you last, I prepared, just as the lockdown was starting, a holy friend, a really heroically holy friend for death, and she had the last sacraments fully lucid, and she didn't want morphine. She wanted to merit for others. And she was saying, it's not when you die, but how you die that matters. And I was thinking how sometime earlier I'd prepared another friend for death, suffering atrociously actually from cancer, but always like this one, with a twinkle in his eye. And he muttered in the depth of his pain, quoting John Wayne, "None of us gets out of here alive." So, whether it's today or tomorrow, we've all got the death sentence over our head. And in that wider context, what does it matter if I lose this argument? On that moment of death, it won't matter one little bit. But what will matter will be the amount of peace and warmth that I will have radiated during my short innings and also kept for myself. Because actually, that's the one bit that goes with us, the inside bit. Now, we noticed that humility is still modest and silenced, interiorized. The opposite seeks attention, attention-seeking. I must be seen. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. Death is certain, but there is the risk of untimely death. There used to be a devotion called Bona Mors, good death. Now, those who are noisy also are noisy with regard to the beyond. They're noisy with regard to their judge. It's not wise to be noisy with regard to the supreme judge. And over the centuries, we see a pattern which actually had already been observed in Greek times. It was called hubris, pride, and the gods would come back. Be not deceived, says St. Paul writing to the Galatians. God is not mocked. John Lennon. Do you remember the great journey to the States? Was it 1966? He, during an interview, said this: Christianity will end. It will disappear. I do not have to argue about that. I am certain. Jesus was okay, but his subjects were too simple. Today, we are more famous than him. He, sometime later, 1980, was shot 6 times. The President of Brazil, Tancredo Neves, during his presidential campaign, he said if he got 500,000 votes for his party, not even God would remove him from his presidency. He got the votes. But he got sick a day before being made president, and he died. Cavantha, a bisexual Brazilian composer, singer and poet, during a show at Canecha, Rio de Janeiro, while smoking his cigarette, he puffed out some smoke into the air and said, "God, that's for you." He died at the age of 32 of lung cancer in a horrible manner. Closer to us in geography, after the construction of the Titanic, a reporter asked the man who built it how safe the Titanic would be. With an ironic tone, he said, "Not even God can sink it." Marilyn Monroe, the actress, the beauty queen, she was visited by Billy Graham during a presentation of a show. He said the Spirit of God had sent him to preach to her. After hearing what the preacher had to say, she said, "I don't need your Jesus." A week later, she was found dead in her apartment. Bon Scott, singer, the ex-vocalist of the AC/DC group, on one of his 1979 songs sang, "Don't stop me, I'm going all the way, down the highway to hell." On the 19th of February 1980, he was found dead. He had been choked by his own vomit. In 2005, at Campinas in Brazil, a group of friends, drunk, went to pick up a friend. The mother accompanied her to the car and was so worried about the drunkenness of her friends that she said to her daughter, holding her hand, as she sat already in the car, "My daughter, go with God, and may He protect you." She responded, "Only if He travels in the trunk. Because inside here, it's absolutely full." Hours later, news came by they had been involved in a fatal accident. Everyone had died. The car could not be recognized as to what type of car it had been, but surprisingly, the trunk was intact. The police said there was no way the trunk could have remained intact. To their surprise, inside the trunk was a crate of eggs. None was broken. Some years ago, Henry Drummond was trying to prepare a poor drunkard for death in the slums of London. He calmed him down from his delirium and asked, "My dear brother, Jesus died for you. Will you give your life to Him?" "No! I won't give the dog end of my life to my God." And with that, no echoing through the abyss of time until the end of the world that will never end, he went into the beyond, refusing redemptive grace. What, my friends, is life?